You can echo boundaries
on Karen
or
of
patterns
quilting
in CS7.
And this video is
you
tips
can even
and tricks
echo
for
echo
trim
feature
outlines.
in CreativeStudio.
I'm just
7.
going to be echoing these flowers, these patterns, for this video. You can find echo in the right-click menu. There's also an icon, or you can go to the Features drop-down menu. However you choose to open it, you'll see the Echo Setup window on the right side of the screen, and CreativeStudio will place an initial echo, a draft of an echo, what it thinks you want. That echo will use the settings from the last time you used Echo feature. That echo is highlighted so you can make changes before you lock it in. For example, I can change the spacing, make it a little bit larger. I can change the number of echoes. I can even change it from an outside echo to an inside echo. You can change what is being echoed by clicking on the screen. So if instead of this flower, I wanted this flower to be echoed, I click over here. Now because my settings are for 2 echoes and inside echoes, I'm kind of getting this funny thing going on. Let's change our number down to 1 again. And maybe click inside of the center, and I get that inside echo. If I want it to be outside of that flower, I have to change it to outside. So while that echo is highlighted, you can still change the settings. So if it's not where you want it or the size you want it, just go ahead and make those changes. And of course, wait for CreativeStudio to make the change. Sometimes it takes a moment to process. Now, if you're placing multiple echoes, I recommend that instead of increasing the number of echoes, you use the Again feature. For example, if I like this echo here, but I want another echo outside of it, I can check on the Again and it will place another echo. But maybe I want this echo to be a little bit larger, so I'm going to change that from 0.5 to 0.8. And I get a little bit larger echo. If I want to set another echo, I can hit Again. So now we have kind of a cool overlapping echoes look. If I'm happy with the echoes and where they're placed, then I can say OK. Now, I don't really want it to stitch exactly like this. First of all, I don't want it to stitch outside of this block. So I'll need to use either fill or trim or redesign all of the patterns on the screen in order to make sure that nothing stitches outside of the block. Trim works pretty well. It'll stop at the block boundary. Fill doesn't always work very well because it follows the boundary or stitches straight to the next pattern because it doesn't believe in jump stitches. Fill will never have a jump stitch in it. And each of these echoes is an individual design, just as is the original flower pattern. And if I tried to select everything and do a fill inside, CreativeStudio has to connect these echoes and you get these straight lines stitching into the different separate patterns. We don't want that, so I'm going to Control Z and back up a step. So there's another thing going on here, which is that these overlapping echoes, I don't want them to overlap on my flowers. So what I usually choose to do is go into Nodes View and divide these patterns. It does take a little bit of work. It takes some time, but you can really clean up the patterns and make them faster to stitch. Okay, so now I've done that much, and I've trimmed off all of the outside. And I've done that actually by dividing the pattern and deleting what fell outside of the boundary. Now I want to make sure that all of these sections are full pieces. So like, see this one? An echo has to start and stop somewhere, and CreativeStudio gets to randomly decide where that start and stop is. And sometimes it's not at a convenient place, but you can reorder that. You can change where that starts by using order join. Select the first segment of that section and then use order join. Then combine that pattern. So now that is a design that stitches from the boundary back to the boundary instead of breaking partway through. Then we can go to the next one and do the same thing. And I think I got them all. Now I want to do one more thing. I don't mind this overlapping of these echoes, except where it comes to the motif. I don't want it to cross the motif. And maybe I don't need it to cross that first little echo. And then take a look and see how I like it. Okay, now I can see my flowers pretty well. I've got those overlapping backdrop of echoes. It's kind of a cool look. I like it. The full 18-minute version of this video can be found in Karen and George's Academy Semester 17. So for more in-depth coverage of this topic and many other topics, check out Karen and George's Academy, where Georgia and I post weekly videos on Statler and CreativeStudio and long-arming topics. You can find more information on my website at wildflowerquilting.com.